Good morning. What's up? Happy Friday. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 920. It's finally Friday. Friday means nothing to me. I think I had this conversation probably last Friday. Fridays just don't mean a lot. I didn't know it was Friday until like 30 minutes after I was up brushing my teeth, doing all the morning stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, today's Friday. Logistical nightmares. We're just going to weave in and out of that topic today. That's the new coining of the new phrase for this new home project. But we're only 2 weeks out. Fingers crossed. No, we should be in. We're just finding the surprises we're running into the surprises we are constantly running into now are fixable. So it's not like going to prevent us from moving in on time. However, the logistics nightmares are coming in with, the movers are coming at the same time as a carpenter's using the space where the stuff's going, and painters are coming, but we're still doing it's just carpet was down before the paint, carpet was down before other things. So it's just, and it was all timing. It's like, why did you lay the carpet down? Well, we couldn't get the painters. If we didn't get the carpet down, we wouldn't have been able to get the carpet down. The painters, if we lost the painters when they come, we wouldn't have been able to get them back for like another 3 months. So our painters have a crew of 17 painters in our house today. So they'll get shit done. They painted the outside. The exterior was painted yesterday. So I got to snap some pics. Most of the trim is done now. So pretty much no plumbing and no electrical is being done today, which I think our plumbing, we had an oopsie happen yesterday, which creates just a headache. So yeah. So here we are, logistical nightmares. So I'm wearing a shirt today. I wear shirts every day, but this says Fractionaut. I have no idea what that is. So if anybody's wondering, what the hell are you wearing? The reason I'm wearing this is because it's cold down here. And you're like, well, why are you wearing a t-shirt if it's cold? Because I'm not cold right now. Because I just took a hot shower. Now I'm drinking hot coffee. And I'm getting all hot and bothered talking about the new house. So right now I'm comfortable. However, when I switch from coffee to water and all of the heat from the coffee and the shower wears off, then I get cold and I have to put a hoodie on. So I'll just throw the hoodie on over the shirt. And then when I take the dog for a walk or run over to the new house, I just take the hoodie off and have my t-shirt on and I can go out and go about my business. But I think I got this shirt Fractionaut. I think I got this shirt at the Collecticon. They had the trade night / casino night / panels that I was a part of. They had like a table of swag from like the various sponsors of the program. So there were like 3 shirts. So I'm like, ooh, hey, free shirts. So this one, Fractionaut, whatever the hell that is. I'm sure it's some fractional company. There was just a generic Collect Tech. It was the Collect Tech Summit is what it was. So and that's a black tee. I like black t-shirts because they're slimming on beer bellies. Sometimes you're like, my beer belly's a little too big, so nothing is slimming anymore. So we're almost to the weekend. It's Friday. I've got, in terms of like stuff going on, thank God I've got nothing going on this weekend because the rest of July is going to be a bear. So I've got nothing going on this weekend as far as traveling or events. So that'll be nice. I've been able to keep up with shipping this week. That enabled me to do a bunch of listing yesterday. I listed like the complete set minus like all of the superstars from 1984 Donruss. There's still, I think there were some stars. I saw Steve Garvey I listed a Steve Garvey from 1984 Donruss, but there were I had already cherry picked like the Cubs, Mattingly, Nolan Ryan. Who else is in that set? Like all the big cards. Wade Boggs was gone. So basically commons and semi-stars, minor stars. But I listed like 700 of 84 Donruss or 600. I don't know. How many's in the set? Is it 660? I can't remember. But basically, we'll say 600, 84 Donruss. And then I think I listed some others. I've got a nice batch of like good stuff going up today. So that's in my eBay store, link in the description. So I did that yesterday as well. We had sushi. I went over like logistical nightmare. Here we go. So the trim we ended up hiring a few trim carpenters. The original guys didn't do a very good job. So we had a lot of oopsies to fix. So the guy that the first guy that we found was our lifesaver, did a great job. And, so he's actually going to do, and he's like a man of, he can like do it all. So, he was doing like some of our drywall work, and we just got talking, and he's like pointing out all these mistakes, and it's like, yeah, like, can you fix those? He's like, oh yeah. Like, okay, you're hired. We're going to call off the other guys. And fortunately we did, because we continued to find other mistakes. And one was a big one that we found yesterday. So then we had a couple other guys come in. So I paid him last night, and I brought the guys donuts yesterday, because when somebody like jokes like, hey, where's the donuts? And then if they joke a second time, it's like, okay, they want me to bring them donuts. So yesterday morning, right after the show, I went down to Quick Trip. I got 18 donuts. They got 17 because I ate one. Got to feed that beer belly. It was what do you call it's the round chocolate donuts with pudding inside. Ooh, those are good. That's what I had. Is it Boston cream? Is that what they're called? So then I came back around like lunchtime, just after lunchtime, and the one guy that we first hired, he's like, because I joked to him like the day before, like, I need some cerveza, and he's like, call Amy, have her bring it. I'm like, we'll get you some. So he goes, where's the Modelo? And I'm like, aha. So he was finished last night, so I took him his money and some Modelo. And then we had a Modelo. So, and then we went to sushi, had some sushi. So, was able to like, I was like, after, because I had heard about the first oops, and then we were supposed to have like furniture delivered today. And I'm like, where are we going to put it? My wife's like, well, in the unfinished area. I'm like, have you seen the unfinished area? Like, there's shit everywhere. So now I'm like, I'm winding up like, oh my God. So I'm like, let's go to sushi, because if I stay in the house, I'm going to be like freaking stressed out the rest of the night. So if I go out, have a little sushi, I'll calm down. So we were able to, we also have like a bunch of carpet that's in that area. There's just a bunch of shit. And so we go to sushi, we go to the house to make sure it's all locked up. Our cabinet guy was still there, which is good. So, we go down into the basement, and my wife's like, let's move this. I'm like, no, like and I ate a lot of sushi last night. I'm like, after dinner, I'm done. Like I'm in early morning. Like, hey, it's 7:15 lately, but get up and go. And I got till about 7:00, and then it's dinner and done. I'm on the go, dinner and done. After dinner, I'm done. So and then my wife goes, she's like, okay. And my wife, after sunset, although at 7 o'clock the sun was still out, she kind of turns into her mom. And she goes, I'm like, I'm not doing this tonight. I'll come back tomorrow. And she's like, well, I'll help you. And I'm like, will you help me tomorrow? Because I'm coming back tomorrow to do this. And she goes, no, I've got my second wind. And I go, this is when I turn into a pumpkin. Like, I'm full of sushi. I am ready to put on sweatpants and hit the couch, the couch, because that's where I want to go. I am couch people after dinner. She's like, this is my second wind. I'm like, well, I will come back and do this tomorrow. She said, but I'll help you. And I'm like, you can help me tomorrow. I'm done. I want to hit the couch. Let's watch Suits. We started watching Suits. And like usually if we both enjoy a show, like my wife will wait to watch it. But I've noticed like she'll be watching Suits all the time. So we get home last night and I'm like, she had grabbed the remote and I'm like, let's turn on Suits. And she's like, do you like it? I'm like, I love it. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. It's a good show. Maybe it's Meghan Markle that attracts me to the show. I'm like, no, I really like the show. It's a good show. Okay. So today, hopefully, will be a better day. Yesterday wasn't a bad day. It was a stressful day. Not bad. We're still in line. I mean, who knows? We have the inspector has been the city of Madison. I shouldn't say anything out loud until after we're done and moved in, but it's difficult building in the city of Madison. Difficult. So we got to wait. So finally, like, are we on schedule to move in? Yes, but there's one person that could tear that all down and give us a big middle finger. That's the city inspector. So we'll find out. I think Wednesday is when the inspector will come. Hopefully. I mean, throughout this whole process, my thought is we put the call in today for a Wednesday inspection. Oh, we're 2 weeks backed up. It's like, okay. So hopefully we can get that inspection on Wednesday. Red Light 34 in the house. Good morning. Scott is here. David, what's happening? Good morning. Harlan, Kyle, good morning. Logistics nightmares are about the worst kind. Yeah. I got out of the logistics industry because is logistics an industry? I guess I worked in logistics within an industry. I think logistics is just kind of because there's logistics in everything. So logistics itself is not an industry. At least that's what I'm thinking as I talk through it. I worked in logistics within an industry, the industry of transportation. Angel Baby, good morning. Flawed Thinker is here. Scotty Dubs in the house. Where are we at? I skipped too far ahead. Where are we at? Red Light 34. What's a good price to PY for 6 5-row boxes of base cards with some rookies, autograph, and color cards? It's a lot of newer stuff, just basketball and football. Flawed Thinker says as cheap as possible. I would agree with that. So that's a tough one. I mean, without going through a box myself, I can't tell you. I cannot give you an answer. I mean, there's some boxes where I would say $50. There's other boxes that could be $500. So I honestly don't know. I mean, if it's with some, like, and I don't know what some it, like if it's base rookies basically or quarter card, base rookies outside of like big names, I'm paying half a penny to a penny. And then autograph and color cards, depending on how many there are. So it's really a crapshoot. I mean, basically I would, whatever price you have in mind, the seller make the seller give you a number and then work off that number. That's what I always do. Because sometimes I look through a box and I honestly don't know, especially if it's, $5, $10, $20 cards. Like, I don't know, like, ooh, what's a good price? So I'll ask. And if it's way out of what I want to pay, then I'm like, I think I'll pass. I just use the excuse, and it's true. It's not just me making something up to avoid the transaction. It's just, I'm not too familiar. And there was a good one, Brady, young kid that, not young kid, young adult, that used to set up at my card show. I'd buy some bulk from him every once in a while. And he had a box with, a lot of like those, to the high end collector, it's low end, but to me, it's middle end, I guess, because it's not high end, but it's, it's that $20 range. And I'm like, I just don't know. And he like, I think he started at 500. I'm like, no, I don't want to pay 500. And I'm looking through and I'm like, I don't know. And I think I was at 200 and he came to 300 and he was going to throw in this like rare Sammy Sosa card. And I'm like, I just don't want to go there. And then like the next person that came to his table, like scooped it up for 350. Like, I think he went 500. The guy's like, I'll give you 350. He's like, I'll take it. So, but I used the excuse that I just don't know this market, which is true. Like, I'm dealing with $1 to $5 cards, or I guess you can go to quarter cards, commons. Let's keep going down. 5-cent card. I know the market on commons to 5-10, but once you get over $10, it's like, this is tough because I don't know how fast. That's the big thing. Okay, I know where to price some of this stuff, but I don't know how fast it's going to turn over. Like, yes, I could list it for 10 or 15 bucks, 20 bucks, but how long is it going to sit? Is it going to be an easy flip or is it going to sit? And sometimes there's cards where I'm like, oh, this is an easy flip and it's still in my eBay store a year later. Some stuff, it's like, oh, this will sit for a year and it sells in 30 minutes. So, and I think we all deal with that. I think even the seasoned seller deals with that. I forgot Creamer. Ugh. But I did have a Quick Trip after the show. When I went to get donuts, I grabbed me a Quick Trip coffee as well. I don't like syrup. The creamer syrup that, and I do call it syrup. I call it syrup. Some people call it syrup. I don't like that. It sounds like stirrup. It's not stirrup. It's syrup. Anyway, I don't like the coffee creamer syrup. So I'm looking around. I'm like looking every shelf at the coffee section at Quick Trip. They've got to have something besides syrup. They had the non-dairy creamer, the powder that's probably 7 years old. The non-dairy creamer that my mom has in her cupboard, and I'm like, and I look and it's like, Mom, this expired in 2006. This is disgusting. It's probably still good. She's like, oh, I used some last week. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, I'm going to throw it away. You can't go to the IGA. The Anawan IGA closed. You're going to have to go to Kiwani Walmart. Get yourself a $1.99 bottle of non-dairy creamer. And if you used it last week, like, hey, it's going to last you another 20 years. We got Victor in the house. What's up, Victor? JW is here. Card Hobbyist, what's happening? Herman in the house. Zach and Porter. Philly Joe. Donald Davis. Happy Friday. Kyle says, my personal logistics aligned that I could stop at Jennings yesterday. Place looked totally different when we were there. Really? Totally disheveled, but a lot of different cards. Oh, interesting. See, it's always looked disheveled to me. So it'll probably look about the same. Just boxes everywhere. I haven't been down there, and I probably won't go. I'll save it for like a winter trip or maybe fall. Obviously, right now, no time. But I'll see him in July. I'll see him in a month. I'll see Jennings at the National. That's all. He's always my second stop at the National. Singles Club, dollar cards. That's where I'll be. I'll be racing to the Singles Club booth as soon as the doors open on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Spend a few hours there, and then I'll probably find 2 years ago at the National, it was Jennings was just around the corner from Singles Club, only a few booths down. Ed is with us. What's up, Ed? JW, the movers, the painters, the Cubs. Oh my, yes, that's a better title. I like that. John says carpet people are the Steve Garvey of contractors. You know what? There's a lot of truth in that. Our carpet guys, so like most of our contractors, it's like if we ask them to do like something, like just something small, they're like, oh yeah. They're like more than happy to do something extra. Not the carpet guys. Like they're like, we don't pre-clean before putting the carpet down. And I talked to like our GC, and he's like, what? All the carpet guys I work with pre-clean before they lay anything down. I'm like, so we hired a cleaner to come in and pre-clean for the carpet people. And then we're like, can you put plastic down after you finish? And the one guy's like, oh, well, didn't so-and-so tell you that we only lay the carpet? Like, are you union? Like, what the hell is this? So yeah, carpet people are the Steve Garvey of contractors. Donald says the basement looks a little empty. It is. Yep. It's half of my stuff is at the new house, and I'm split. Half's here. Oopsies can happen over top of your baseball cards, they say. Looks like Bo is layering. Yep, I'm layering up today. T-shirt, and I've got my hoodie upstairs. So when I start getting cold, I can throw my hoodie on. How's the fractional market working out? All still rosy? You know, I never got into the fractional market. Some people did, and they're like, oh, this is cool. And it's like, if I want to invest in something, it's not going to be a fraction of a Mickey Mantle baseball card. Like if I want fractions of something, I want a fraction of the company that makes the cards, or Apple, Amazon, etc. Not a baseball card. Mark Marinello, good morning. T-minus 3 days until everybody's taking vacations. I'm jealous. Love the coffee in the morning. Don't like the trips to the bathroom so many times after my morning coffee. You know what's worse than coffee as far as bathroom trips, which I didn't know this. I love coconut water. I drank 3 liters of coconut water in like a 2-day span last week. I'm like, why am I pissing all the time? And so I'm like, I've drank a lot of coconut water. And I looked up an article. It's a diuretic. And I looked up an article. It's like an obscene amount of 99 ounce. I'm like, oh man, because the Costco coconut waters that I bought were a liter, 33.8 ounces. And I'm like, 33, 39. I drank over 100 ounces in 2 days. It's a lot of damn coconut water. So I took a few days off, but I did drink a liter last night. It's just so good. And it's not like water. It's like coconut water. It's like refreshing, but it makes me thirsty. I want to drink more, but I'm refreshed. But I keep drinking more. Like I could just drink coconut water all frickin' day. I'd shit my brains out. Coconut water. Love it. Angel Baby says, come to think of it, I'll grab a cup of Joe. There you go. He's got his Tops hat. Now he's getting his coffee. Cooter, good morning. Your start time is the only sliding scale I recognize in the hobby. We won't get into the vintage debate a bit again. Paige and Deanie Bean, what's happening? Oh, we're gonna play Name That Player today. We're just gonna grab a random pack. I'm not even gonna think about it. I'm just gonna grab a pack and we're gonna roll with it. Raphael, good morning. Raphael's on vacation. Jeez Louise. Everybody's on vacation. You get a vacation. You get a vacation. Got my favorite live show playing through the iPods. Tell them I said hi. Thanks for all the updates, Angel Baby, says John. I'm glad you drank water the remainder of the day. I always thought you'd be drinking Diet Dew all day, but then I recall your life partner drinks Diet Cokes. Yeah. Ugh. Mountain Dew, anything Mountain Dew, no, can't do. I don't drink much pop. Sometimes I'll have a Diet Coke for lunch. And then every once in a while, I'll have a Sprecker's root beer at dinner time. When I'm on the road, like if I grab McDonald's, I'll have a Coke, but I don't drink much pop. I only drink coffee, water, and beer for the most part. That's about the only liquids I consume. Coffee in the morning, water throughout the day, beer at night, not every night, and then water before bed. The occasional Diet Coke or root beer. Let's see. Redbridge, good morning. What the fresh hell is this t-shirt? Rewind. I explained it at the beginning. So many boxes of cards. Had to sleep sitting up all night if that was even possible. Tracy, good morning. Sal Dougie's in the house. Paul Heath, good morning. Cooter just had a formation of World War II aircraft fly over my house. Didn't have that on the bingo card. Zach says, Cooter, it's happening. The internet was right. Nice knowing you all. Ziggy's in the house. What's up? Happy Friday. By the way, Ziggy, I watched a recent video Ziggy put up. Had an amazing idea. I absolutely love this idea. So if anybody has kids within travel, I don't have kids, but I worked within high school athletics, had friends that had kids in travel. I would go to summer baseball and softball travel tournaments. Having like basically what a pop-up shop would be, a Fanatics pop-up shop at these travel complexes. I think that's a genius idea because in firsthand last weekend, the bachelor party I was at, one of the guys had to leave like at the butt crack of dawn. That's a Midwest term. Butt crack of dawn to get back to Chicago because his kid had like a 10 a.m. game. And he's like, or actually, I think it was 9 a.m. He goes, so the kid's got a 9 a.m. game. He's like, I want him to win, but I don't, because if he wins, his next game isn't until 4. And it's like, it's that distance from home to there where it's like an hour to an hour and a half drive home for them. And they would be home for like an hour, and then they would have to turn around and drive back an hour to an hour and a half. So it's like, it's not worth it. So he goes, game's over at 10, and we've got to be there for like 5-6 hours before like they start warming up for their 4 p.m. game. So he's like, I guess we're just going to go have a long lunch and I don't know, mill around. But if you had a pop-up shop in those like I mean, there's like sometimes hundreds of teams depending on the size of the complex. And if they're all just sitting around, if, you know, between games, there's a lot of teams sitting around waiting for their next game. What do you do? I mean, fortunately, today we have iPads and all that fancy stuff, but you go buy a box of cards, pack of cards, trade with your friends like it's the olden days, back when it was vintage. I think that's an amazing idea. Team up with some of these complexes or not clubs, but organizations, and do like a tent, almost like a card show. I think that's Ziggy. No, shout out to Ziggy for putting that idea out there. I think that's an awesome idea. John says, Bo, I think you're getting bags under your eyes. I don't know if it's the glare. I definitely have bags under my eyes. Yeah, I definitely have bags under my eyes, and I need a haircut. I look like shit. Thanks, John. Card Hobbyist, Casual Friday. I was hoping it was just like a reflection of my black hat. causing the crow's feet. Oh, where are we at? Thanks, John. Now I'm gonna feel self-conscious the rest of the day. Where are we at? And you are moving to Madison proper or some other municipality? We live in this like weird area. So right now, my I don't even know where I live right now. And I've lived here for 7 years, I think. My street address is Verona. Madison service, it's Madison School District and Madison, like, garbage and shit like that. And then across the street, it's Middleton School District and maybe Verona address, Middleton School District. I don't know. It's confusing as hell. So where we're moving is Madison street address, Middleton School District. So I can't remember. See, we had like a company cookie cutter. We're in a cookie cutter subdivision. So like we didn't do anything with the building process. I mean, my wife would know, but I have no idea. But I think this house probably falls within the city of Madison, but it's also like cookie cutter, and like the house that we're doing now is all custom. We tore shit down, rebuilt it. So it's almost like a new build. So I wouldn't call it Madison proper. It's Madison address, Middleton schools, kind of out far west side. Cooter says, you're right, Zach. That must have been a time portal open behind Bo's chair. Joe Caprino in the house. Grease some palms with a few baseball cards. I've been greasing palms with beer and donuts, and that seems to go pretty well. Although I don't know if the inspector, should I even say that? Grease the palms? That's how it works. In fact, that's what I asked one of the guys. I'm like, can we just like pay him off? Like, how much does it take to just like say, hey, you're good? Isn't that what, like, that's what you do, right? That's what they do in Chicago. Just got to know the right one, I guess. No, I do not do that. Bad. Logistics is a catch-all phrase for what the hell do those people do anyway? Yes, it is. Zach says, Bo, you are moving into a beautiful house. These are some of the things that happen with any major project. Quit the pity party and realize you only have a few more days to enjoy with Frank. I know. Sad days. I always wonder, Frank, I was in the office upstairs and I saw Frank drive by and I'm like, I wonder where Frank goes during the day. He's retired. He had his Buick SUV cruising down. Like, where's he going? Is he going to Quick Trip to get a newspaper? Because it was morning. It was like 9 a.m. Like, is he going to get the newspaper? He strikes me as a newspaper reader and not like a subscription newspaper reader. Like, he wants to get out of the house. And I feel for that. Like, there's some things where I just need to get out of the house. That's what I told my wife about going to clean up the basement last night. I'm like, I don't want to do it tonight. I've had enough outside time. Like tomorrow, mid-morning, late morning, I just need to get out of the house. And it'll give me something to do. Not that I don't have enough to do, but it'll get me out of the house. It's like a break. And maybe that's what Frank's doing. He doesn't want the paper delivered to him, but he also strikes me as the guy that would complain if they throw it on the driveway and he has to walk out to the driveway. When I was a paper boy, we didn't do that. Like I feel, and maybe in like cities or like other municipalities. Thanks, John. I like that word, municipalities. You just throw the newspaper and it lands in the bushes. I remember my brother always complained because his newspaper was always in the bushes. And like one time he had like 2 weeks worth of newspapers just all around the perimeter of his house. And I'm like, dude, he's like, yeah, I keep calling them and they keep throwing them. I'm like, why don't you just go get them? Anyway, but no, when I was a paper boy, I would deliver it to the door. And I'd usually stick it between like the screen door and the main door. If they didn't have like some people had like a newspaper box. So I would put it in the box. That's what she said. And then some customers on my paper routes would say, "Can you put it between between the doors?" So that's what I would do. But I never just tossed it. Remember the show? It was a Fox sitcom back in the early 90s with Chris Elliott. What the hell was it called? Get a Life. And he like was 40, lived with his parents, and was a paper boy. And that's what he would stand. And REM did the theme song, "Stand in the place where you were." And he would just ride his bicycle down the street throwing papers. And I'm like, that's not what paper boys do. Like, you're a shitty paper boy. Anyway, so I wonder what Frank is up to. Like, where's he going? Is he getting coffee? Newspaper? I don't know. Talking Tatis in the house. What's up? I'm ready to admit the Padres season is toast. 1-5 versus the Nats. Bucks, pathetic. Biggest disappointment in Padres history. Yeah, there's been a lot. The Mets, let's not get Mark Marinello going. The Cubs are they are who we thought they were. They're competing. Right now, they're falling short of my predictions. I think they're actually in line for what Pacoda, like I think Pacoda had them at 76 or 77 wins, and I think that's right where they're projected right now, because I think they're 5 games below. Is it 5? I think they're 5 games behind in the division with a record 5 games below 500. But the NL Central's so bad, like I still have faith. I think the Cubs are going to get it done. It's going to be close. I don't think they'll get in with their record in a wild card spot. I think they'll have to win the division to get to the playoffs. Let's see. John says Padres spent a lot of money for that toast. Yeah, and that's what I like to remind Cubs fans. They're like, we need this guy and we need this. We need to spend money. And it's like the Mets did, the Padres did. Money doesn't equal best records in baseball. The Cubs at times in the last 20 years have spent a lot of money, and it's gotten them. I mean, the World Series wasn't from money. The World Series was from making some good decisions. More good decisions than bad decisions when it comes to talent. Angel Baby has a quick question. What's the deal with Sosa? Thought he was caca because of the corky baseball bat debacle back in the day. Your thoughts? Sammy Sosa. I loved Sammy Sosa early on. The last couple of years, there was a lot of rumors that he was a bad teammate, the boombox incident, the corked bat. He like walked out of a game towards the end of his Cubs career. And it's like, Sosa, you're a prick. But now it's like, you forget, like as time goes by, you forget about those little things and you remember the good times, the home run chase, the 66 home runs and all that fun stuff. And now it's like, okay, he's done his time as like a bad teammate and all that. Let's bring him back. I think there's more to the story. Like he's basically, I mean, the Cubs basically have written him off, like wiped him from memory as a Cub. I don't know why that is. I think it's a two-way street, and we're not getting either side of the story. I think we're getting a he said, she said between the Cubs, the Ricketts family, and Sammy Sosa into why Sosa's not going back to Wrigley Field. I think there's probably like, it's just a big ego trip on both parts. And I don't think the Ricketts are to blame fully. I don't think Sosa is to blame fully. I think they both need to just suck it up, set egos aside, and just, the fans want Sammy Sosa back to first pitch at Wrigley. Just do something. Like, don't live off the home run chase of, like, oh, we're going to anoint him the king of the Cubs for hitting home runs and blah, 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 blah. But, now that we find out now after the fact, steroids are bad. And now we're going to doom him to, he never existed. F that. George, what's up? Card Hobbyist says expiration dates were more like guidelines to that generation. I know. My wife and it's strange. My wife and mother-in-law are like clean freaks, but they'll eat expired food. I don't get it. I'm like, my wife just does the smell test, and I'm like, this expired in March. She's like, oh, it'll be okay. It smells okay. I'm like, oh. And then when she's not looking, I wash it out and throw it away. Like, no, it's expired. So yeah, I don't do expired food. Jonathan Allen, what's up? Creamer is way more durable than roaches after a nuclear war. That's kind of what I was thinking. It's like honey. Honey never expires. Good morning, Terry. John wants to know, did you buy your national ticket yet? I have. Yes, I did a few weeks ago. Got the VIP. I'm going to hit up Rep and Rajon Rondo for parking pass. I'll be good to go. So yes, I do have my ticket for the national. My hotel room. I drive down, so I don't need a flight. So I'm good to go. Hall of Fame card collector in the house. I bought a collection of low-numbered cards from 2002 to 2008. Nice. Sometimes those have sneaky good value. Jonathan Allen. Speaking of sneaky good value, one of my, I think it was this most recent Goodwill pallet had a ton of Sports Illustrated for kids cards. Some of them were like the animals, like I thought it was Olympics, but no, there's a David Ortiz called Big Puppy. So it's got like David Ortiz with a puppy face. It's got Michael Phelps with a dog face, and it's Michael Yelps. So I was on the couch last night, as I do, and I'm like, I'm going to list some cards on the couch. And I pick up the Michael Yelps card. I tweet about it. I go to eBay, and I'm like, I'm going to put this up for $5. There's only like 3 on eBay. I think one's in a PSA and then maybe 1 or 2 raw. The lowest priced Michael Yelps card on eBay is like $80 shipped. It's like 75 plus 5 shipping. I'm like, damn. I'm like, that seems pretty ridiculous. So I'm going to go to sold listings. Do I think it's going to sell for 75? No. But I've got offers open, so we'll see. So I go to sold. There's none that have sold, I don't think. So we'll see. But it's like, list price is list price, but I think there were like 3 listed and 75 was the cheapest. Let's see. Jonathan says 99 cents a dollar shipping has been working lately. Any comments? I don't have any comments. I do free shipping, so I don't have any comments on dollar shipping 99 cents. New carpet looks great. Peel it back and you see the real floor. Garvey. Bo, how do you call yourself a Cubs fan when you drink your coffee from that coffee mug? Come on, man. Represent. This, Soil Biotics, this was a client of mine in my previous, when I was in the transportation industry, working in logistics. No, my client there, Corey, he's a big Cubs fan. And so, yeah, sent me this mug, and now I use it. So this mug is Cubs by like second cousins. Because the guy who gave this to me is a big Cubs fan. And that's the company he works for. I see a lot of ads on YouTube for that one fractional art company. Interesting. George says, what's coconut water? It's water from coconuts. Literally, just water from coconuts. TD Sports Cards, what's up? I got scammed in Vietnam by the coconut seller. Sweetened or unsweetened? Unsweetened. No sugar added. Bottled coconut water tastes nothing like the water inside an actual coconut. I was wondering that. I don't think I've actually had water from a coconut. I've never been to Hawaii. I think there's coconuts in Key West because I think they were selling like you just put a straw inside a coconut. But I looked on the side of the box or the carton, and the ingredients are like water from a coconut. That's it. But I'm sure it's different when it's, processed and put into cartons and sits on a shelf, as opposed to just sticking a straw in a coconut and sucking away. Tigers727 missed yesterday's show. You probably didn't miss much. I don't even know what we talked about yesterday. Alex spent 27 years as a commercial floor installer owner. Time is money, and so is the plastic to cover it up. It's a really physically tough job, and you just want to get it done and get the F out. That's everything, though. That's everything. Let's see. Red Lights got vacation next week. I'm the only one without a vacation. Mountain Dew, I am not a fan of. Heard it does wonders on migraines. I was starting to get a migraine, and one can cured it. I wonder, is that the Mountain Dew or is it the caffeine? Because I think in like ibuprofen and I know I probably say it wrong, Tylenol, I think isn't like one of the main ingredients in those over-the-counter drugs, isn't it caffeine? Because I think like Excedrin migraine is just more caffeine added in the pill. That could be completely wrong. Don't take my word for it. John says people also want cards sold in food truck situation. The logistics, yes, that's a thing, would be nightmarish. I don't understand how the logistics would be nightmarish. It's basically a card show. That's all it is. A pop-up shop at like anywhere is just like taking your stuff to a card show. Chris Johnson, what's up? Hopefully you have heaters in the basement at the new house. I do, and they're on their own system. So I can crank it up. My wife can freeze upstairs, and I can be warm downstairs. Where are we at? Shit. Let's see. See, this is why it's a free-for-all Friday. Let's see. There are thousands of tournaments. 80% of pop-ups will be out of business by the end of the tournament season. But it's not local card shops. It's like Fanatics. For those that don't have kids, there are snack bars at most complexes. I bought my first cards at my ball field snack bar. There you go. See? You just proved a point. It's a genius idea. George says apparently NFTs are alive and well in some people's minds. Had one guy want to buy my NFTs on Instagram. I don't sell NFTs. I take JPEGs and post them online for free. A little concealer under the eyes will go a long way. I'll ask my wife. You got any concealer I can use? Bo doesn't say bags like some other Wisconsinites I have met. Do they call them B-eggs is like Chicago. Actually, I think that's suburbanite. B-eggs. I remember my first, because I grew up in like Podunk, downstate Podunk. And people downstate hate it when you say downstate. They hate it. I'm from downstate, and I like use it as a term, but because people say, where are you from? Illinois. Oh, Chicago. No. But if you say I'm from downstate, they say, oh, not Chicago. It's pretty easy. Some people just, I think it's like Napoleon, like small town Napoleon complex. But my first introduction to like Chicago was at Illinois State University, ISU, home of the Redbirds, Bloomington Normal. My friends' roommates were all from Chicago, suburbs. And the Chicago people get pissed off when you're from Naperville and you say I'm from Chicago. So it's just like this geography thing all throughout Illinois. And I'm pretty sure every state has it. You're not from Chicago. You're from Naperville. B-eggs. You want to play some B-eggs? Like, My friend Chuck and I were down there like the first time. My friend Brandy lived with like 5 girls. You want to play BX? Like, what? So I look at Chuck and I go, did she just say BX? Like, say this word. Say this word. Such a dick. Just sweat more. No one will notice the BX. Are you going to have a coffee maker in your new card room office? Yes. I think I'm going to get a Keurig. Let's see. Oh, God. Angel Baby's going down the vintage path. Vintage to Angel Baby is now 1982 and before. In 82, I was 16, and that was not yesterday. Let's not go down that road again. We went down that road yesterday. John says, when I had to build out my wife's dance studio, the local inspector had no idea what he was doing with the codes. He kept applying residential to commercial. Oh, man. Your street address is Verona. What do you make for income after taxes? Dr. Smith, lost in space, had to set him straight several times. The inspector is the most greased. John, are you saying that he wasn't a seasoned inspector? Good morning, Brian Wolf. Remember when you were going to pay off the tax guy? Those were the days. Hey, I never said that. I made a mistake yesterday. I decided to do a lot of yard work and smoke a cigar on the rider. I slept like garbage and feel like trash today. Still worth it. That's what happened to me, but it wasn't yard work and a cigar. It was beer and sugar. I had a few spotted cows on the patio, and then I decided to eat some like apple pie things at like 8:30. And that sugar woke me up. The Legion. Instead of a mood ring, Bo has a mood lawn. We can gauge his morale by the color of his lawn. I had the water running all day yesterday. Gotta get that lawn greened up. Frank needs a paper fetching robot. There you go. John Keating's name was in the book I am reading right now, All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. I ain't lying. I'm going to send John a picture. He's famous. Love it. Cubs getting closer or further from the playoffs? It's neither. It's just kind of like this. Every win they get closer, every loss they get further away. And they're like, I think they are 500 over the last 10 games. I think they're 5-5. Can you explain to me again why you use cardboard on the front and back of cards when you ship them? I don't. Actually, I shouldn't say I don't. I was trying to explain how to ship, but forgot the reason. I thought it has something to do with the sorting machines. So I do not use cardboard because of the sorting machines, unless it's okay. So in a plain white envelope, no cardboard because it'll eat up the envelope. In a bubble mailer, you don't like a plain white envelope. You want it to be as flat as possible. In a bubble mailer, you don't want it flat as possible because the opposite happens. If a bubble mailer is flat, it can get chewed up, much like an envelope when it's bulky. So it's vice versa. So what I like to do in a bubble mailer is, I'll put my card saver or top loader, usually depending on what it is, and then cardboard around it. And then I often put it inside another bubble mailer, like a used one, or packing peanuts is a good way to do it, just to make sure it's not flat. You don't want flat bubble mailers to go through. Now, will they go through without damage? Yes, but there's a higher likelihood that they could get chewed up and destroyed. I've had more damaged packages sent bubble mailer than envelopes, and I send way more white envelopes than I do bubble mailers. So that's the reason. Had a nice discussion last night about putting the comfy recliner in my bedroom. This way I can recline, drink coconut water, and participate in the live chat. Cheers to that. Harlan says that's what Paperboys did in the game Paperboy. I know. It maybe that's why we had such shitty Paperboys in the 90s. They learned from the video game. John says, let Frank just Frank. Some things are best left a mystery. That's true. Like if we knew, like, oh, he's just going to get his medication or a coffee. And then after we knew, but the speculation is the most fun. It's the imagination. What is Frank doing? that we all love. So yes, I agree. It's better left a mystery, but we can speculate and enjoy the imagination. Mark says too late. Jets camp starts in 3 weeks. Let's see. Where are we at? Card Hobbyist says Handsome Boy Modeling School was a short-lived music collaboration of Dan the Automator and Prince Paul. The name comes from an episode of Get a Life. Interesting. I love it. Mark says silver lining. Mets tickets will be cheaper for the rest of the season. That is a good silver lining. I would agree. As a Cubs fan, I know how that goes. 2015, 16, 17, even into 18 and 19, expensive Cubs tickets. 2020, well, there was no 2020, at least for fans. 2021, 2022, cheap Cubs tickets. Cheap-ish. Which Sammy Sosa are we talking about? I don't chat in emoticons. I'm a man. I'm 40. Plus. Matt Like in the house. I have a hard out in 15 minutes today. Any chance name that player can be done that by then? Matt's probably already gone. I'm probably 15 minutes behind in the chat. I agree. I'm still a fan of Sosa and Pete Rose. Like Pete Rose. I'm done with Pete Rose. Like 5, even 10 years ago, or 10, even 5 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, Pete Rose, Hall of Famer, definitely. Now I don't care. He's made a clown of himself in the last 10 years. And I don't care anymore. Like, I just don't care about Pete Rose. Heading out, have a good day. Thank you, Mark. George says, I eat expired stuff. I'm poor. It's best before for me, never expired. Expiration dates, especially on seasonings, are a sliding scale. There you go. Much like vintage baseball cards and seasonings. I think everything expired the day after expiration. My wife lives dangerously. It's love. You want to buy my National Autos? They seem to be all Chicago people. No, I'm going to probably give mine away. Yeah, unless I haven't looked at the list. I mean, the list I saw, like, if it's not a Cub, I don't care. In the Cubs that I think are free, I think it's like Jody Davis, which I have 50 Jody Davis autos. I've drank beer with Jody Davis a few times, so I don't need a Jody Davis auto. And I think that's Bob Dernier might be one. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to drop mine off at Signatures for Soldiers, and here you go. Angel Baby needs some advice. Just how many Mantle autograph cards are actually in those 91 score baseball series 2 boxes? Thinking about buying a few boxes. I would save your money. I would say there's probably a number out there. Is it like 250? For some reason, I'm thinking there was like 250 or maybe 2,000. I think it was somewhere in that range. Matt says, I'll take the Yelps card for $6. Could you or would you ever entertain the idea working for the Cubs organization in some form? No, I would not, because that would ruin my fandom. And I've said that all along. Like, I would not. And I think I really got this idea from my buddy Kyle, who is a diehard Vikings fan from Minnesota. And he did an internship when he was in college for the Vikings. And he's like, it was my dream. I think he said it was my dream to work for the Vikings, but it just ruins the fandom. And I agree. Because I can just be a fan. And I don't think there's a position in the Cubs organization that I'm qualified for, or that I could do from Madison, Wisconsin. So, no, I would not want to work for the Cubs organization. Brian says, went to get national tickets last night, sold out of all VIP. Oof. Hotels ain't cheap. Go. I don't know if you're flying in or driving, but the hotel I stay at is $60 a night. It's only 15 minutes, and it's one road. You take the road that runs right in front of the Stevens Convention Center. You just take that out, 15 minutes, and you're at the hotel. It's the Ramada in Wheeling, and I think it's on Milwaukee Avenue. So there is one turn. You have to turn from River Road to Milwaukee Avenue. You're on Milwaukee for about a half mile. You just pass McDonald's and Dunkin'. And there's a small airport right there. It's on the other side of the airport. So $60 a night, and there's probably rooms available. Ramada, Wheeling. Let's see. John says tickets have been on sale for 6 months for the National. They've been sending emails stating VIP ticket. I know. That's why I ended up. It's like I waited too long on the super VIP. So that's why it's like, okay, I need to pull the trigger now. If super VIP sold out in January, I need to get my VIP tickets. Let's see. Herman says it's like coconut skim milk. There you go. I thought you put a lime in the coconut, not a straw. People steal coconuts all over South Florida. Cut top, put in straw, sell for $2. There you go. You can mix Tylenol with some other chemicals and develop black and white film. Interesting. Brian says we buy Costco coconut water. That's what I get. Costco coconut water. Fanatics has a pop-up shop going 24/7 on the internet that doesn't require transport, labor, and dealing with local tax nonsense. Guy who works here from Minnesota says begs for bags. Begs? Yeah, that's kind of a begs. Settle be eggs. I didn't get permission to go till yesterday, or I would have bought earlier. There you go. John says Angel Baby is the Archduke Ferdinand, the nondescript whose assassination started World War I. Do you need cardboard inside of a Pelican case? I don't know. I've never had a Pelican case. I don't use cardboard personally, but I've received cards in the mail from others that use it. I just throw a roll of blue painter's tape inside my Pelican, then everything evens out. How about a vault? When I buy fractionals, am I also splitting the cost of the cardboard and top loaders? Bargain Boxer, Champaign Urbana got smashed last night. Been without power for 17 hours. Damn. Yeah, I saw Macomb got hit really hard too. Must have just went straight across Illinois. We need the rain. We don't need that. Like I saw corn was like toppled. I mean, a storm like that here wouldn't even bother the corn, at least directly around where I'm at, because the corn's like, it's not even knee high. They say, the old saying is knee high by the 4th of July. Well, usually it's like 7 feet tall by the 4th of July here anywhere in the Midwest. But it may not be knee high by the 4th of July here in Madison, Wisconsin. John was triggered by George, and that was George's goal. Why are there not Paperboy cards from Better Off Dead? I remember our paper guy in the 90s had an Abdul-Jabbar level skyhook from the driver's side of his Oldsmobile. Nice. Let's see. Can we play Name That Sammy Sosa instead? Yes. You're more than 15 minutes behind. He left an hour ago. Sorry, I didn't have a dime. Harlan. Terry says, have you heard about the big card show in Peoria? 400 to 500 tables. I did. And I'm starting to wonder if it's actually going to be that big because they significantly reduced table prices. So I'm like on the fence. If I need more information before I make that drive, because it's a 3-hour drive. So I'm definitely not setting up. I may go on like that Friday, but I just, I don't know. It's tough. Look it up. ABC. More than the Frank Thomas no name on front. Dat dude from Duryea. Having a beer with a player is a better experience than an auto, maybe a new revenue stream agents can look into. They can hire you as a jock sniffer. You exceed expectations or minister of playoff propaganda. Ooh, I like that. I like the minister of playoff propaganda just being a jock sniffer. Plenty of rooms that rent by the hour still available in Wheeling. 2,500 serial numbered cards from the Mickey Mantle set were signed by Mantle, stamped with certification, and randomly inserted. There you go. According to Score, Mantle signed 356 copies of each. So is there 2,500 or is there... That was easy, you big baby. I don't know what was easy. So 2,500 and but I don't know. According to Score, Mantle signed 356 copies of each. Of each what? Of each 2,500. So is it 2,500 multiplied by 356? Or is it 2,500 and your last sentence is... Because that's not easy. I don't know why you think that's easy. Mark says, have you guys not invented the already cardboarded envelopes? I send out cards in 6x4 cardboarded envelopes. That's how we roll in Europe. No, we have like, they're called like armalopes, but they're like 40 cents an envelope. I mean, I'm sending $1.50 cards. So I need 2-cent, 3-cent envelopes. And then if it's, if it's going non-envelope, then it goes in a bubble mailer. So that's how I roll. Let's play Name That Player. Let's let Andrew keep figuring out the math. Report back. Where'd the scoreboard go? Shit. Oh, it's way back here. Oh. All right. Name that player. Let's move box 16. Okay. So here's the scoreboard. 356 times 7 equals 2,492 times 7. So there were 7 different. Where'd the 7 come from, Andrew? You're tossing in random numbers. So just tell me how many. So here's our update. Scotty Dubs in first place, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 points for Scotty Dubs. Flipping Sports Guy, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 29. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 22, 5, 10, 15, 22. 22 points each for Card Hobbyist Uncle Rich. 18 for Flawed Thinker. Mookie Chilson has 8. Shit. Oh, Matt Like, we lost him. Matt Like with 7. Michael Renicky, Terry McDaniel, Minneapolis Kid have 5 each, and then a bunch with 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so let's play Name That Player. Shit. I'm just going to grab a pack from back here. Let's see the chat. This one. 88 Donruss is the winner. Okay, where are we at? John says, we invest in the cheapest possible envelopes here in America. That's part of the hustle. There you go. JW uses envelopes and regular white envelopes. Depends on the card I'm shipping price-wise. Bronco in the house. Just in time for Name That Player. Cooter says, the game that never ends. 7. At least we went an hour without getting to Name That Player. So you got a good hour of shitty content before a shitty game. 7 different cards were signed. 356 copies of each card is what Andy. Thank you, Card Hobbyist. Thank you. George says, Name That Player. No wonder Mantle died young. Dude was overwhelmed by math. So it's 356 times 7. Oil Can Boyd. Armalopes is the crossbreeding of armadillos and antelopes. 88 Donruss. Let's go. 88 Donruss. Here's our puzzle. That's the feat of Stan Musial. Yeah, and as we get started, let's hit that like button. Okay, here we go. Where's my marker? I think 88's, let's see. Oh, we got a Cub. Okay. There are dots on the back. Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto Blue Jays. I'm not going to give the position. Scotty Dubs got it. Todd Stottlemyre. Scotty Dubs with the point. We might just have to end the game when Scotty Dubs' points roll out. Oh, baby. Add 1 to the Cubs cardometer. Joe Trotto's in the house. Manny Trio. Hey, Matt Like is still with us. Todd McCown. Am I saying your name right? McCown? Manny Trio, Scotty Dubs. We got to put him on the Cubs pile. Scotty Dubs knows his 88 Donruss. Let's see. Texas Rangers. Who's this guy? Bronco. Attabae McDowell. Bronco with the point. Are you on the board yet? Yes, you got a point last week. All right. Oh, here's a gimme. Here's a gimme. Milwaukee, the Brewers. Bronco, fastest fingers. Paul Molitor. Bronco, 2 in a row. All right, where's the Mets fans? Where are the Mets fans? Todd says that guy who played one game. Hojo, no. Hojo, Backman is correct. Yes. Wally Backman. Scotty Dubs. It's the Scotty Dubs versus Bronco show. Oh, where are we at? All right. Oh, we're going back to Milwaukee. Brewers, Plesac. There you go. And it was guessed earlier. I was going to say that, but didn't want to give it away. Bronco. Dan Plesac. Broncos up to 4 points, moving up the scoreboard. A Bunting Ranger. Yeah, we might have to exclude Uncle Rich and Scotty Dubs next round of. Ooh, Espy's a good guess. Wilkerson is right. Kurt Wilkerson. Matt with the point. Matt has 8. All right. Ooh, this is a tough one. Atlanta Braves. I don't think anybody's going to get this one. Mahler, good guess, not correct. Bream, not correct. Moeller, not correct. He played quite a few seasons with the Braves. Played in 83, 84, 85, 86, 87. Mahokik, nope. Mustache, nope. Jones, nope. Greg Maddux in disguise, nope. He's a pitcher. Going once. Going twice. Jeff Dedman. No points awarded. Jeff Dedman. We stumped you. We Atta Baby Eats a Boy. Another Met coming up. I think you'll get this one. New York Mets pitcher, not Ron Darling. Bronco is correct. Jesse Orozco. Bronco moving on up. 5 points. Okay. We're going to Chicago, the wrong side of the tracks. The White Sox. White Sox pitcher. DeJesus, no. James, no. De Leon, yes. Jose De Leon. Bronco's on a roll. Okay. Oop, hope you didn't see that. Detroit Tigers. Detroit Tigers. I so badly want to give a hint, but it'll give it away. Not Travis Fryman, not King, not Alan Trammell, not Parrish, not Henneman, not Fryman. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Morrison is correct. You picked up what I was putting down. You picked up what I was putting down. Jim Morrison. Not that one. So who got my hint first? Matt. Matt's at 9 points. Philly. We're going to Philly. Where's John? You're like the Randy, the trivia master. Oh, thank you. Philly. Not Kruk. That's a good. It kind of looks like John Kruk, doesn't it? Scotty Dubs back on the board. Bruce Ruffin. Bruce Ruffin for Scotty Dubs. And he's at 54. All right. Going to Cleveland. This guy wasn't, he's a name you likely all know, but not really known for the Indians. I'll take Todd's Buell. Yes. I think he fat-fingered it. W's right next to the E. Todd. Yes. J. Bell. Todd's on the board. First point for Todd. All right. We got 2 cards to go. Seattle Mariners. Ooh, this is a tough one. I would not know this one. I would probably not get many of these, actually. Not Powell. Oh, that's a good one. Thinking Dennis Powell. No lip. It's a nice stash he's got there. Quinones. Nope. You're probably thinking Ray. Not Ray Quinones. Quinones. McStash Face. I like it. Not correct. Nepper. Not correct. Diaz. No. Played for the Indians in 83 and 85. Was in the minor leagues in 84. Played for the Seattle Mariners in 86 and 87. Was a pitcher. Let's see. Looks like he was signed originally by the Phillies. Going once. Going twice. Not Scott Bankhead. It is, no points awarded, Jerry Reed. That was a tough one. Jerry Reed. All right, one more to go. One more to go, and we go back to Chi-Town. Back to Chi-Town. I always forget this guy played for the White Sox. Although, wow, he played for the White Sox throughout much of the 80s. Could have said Eastbound and Down. Sang. Oh, yeah. I was thinking Jerry Reed was like a singer name. Not Canseco, not Thompson, not McDowell, not Lyons, not McCaskill, not Paul. All good answers. All former White Sox. None correct. I didn't realize this guy played for the White Sox for so many years. I think of this guy with the Seattle Mariners. D's nuts. No. Not Powell. Let's see. Card hobbyist didn't start watching baseball till 91, so 80s players stump me. All right, so unless they are superstars. Not Davidson. Initials are FB. FB, White Sox pitcher, going once, going twice. No point awarded. It's Floyd Bannister. Oh, Matt. I announced it before Bannister came through. No point awarded. Floyd Bannister. All right. So, name that player. Name that player. So we've got Scotty Dubs with 54 points. Flipping Sports Guy, 22, 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, or no, wait, 25, 10, 15, 20, 25, 29 points for Flipping Sports Guy. Card Hobbyist and Uncle Rich have 22. Flawed Thinker has 13. Matt Like is now at 9. Mookie Chilson at 8. Nick Budden has 11. Michael Renicky, Terry McDaniel, Minneapolis Kid with 5. Bronco now at 6. Let's see. We got 3 points for Korean Cardboard and Boyhood Breaks. 2 points for D Young Cards, Brian M., Christian, Mike D. Francesca, Mike Summer. And a point apiece for Sal Dougie, Travis Bogart, Bink Scott. That 70s Card Show. And Todd McCown, who got a point today. All right. Matt says he hit send. Other people are saying, do we give Matt the point? I'm cool with giving Matt the point. Looks like some people are backing him. And I would say, it came right after. So he was already in the typing it out. So Harlan says Matt had it before. Bronco says he thought he beat it. Matt says I hit send before you said it. Todd and Harlan, yes, okay. Matt Like, you get the point for Floyd Bannister. 10 points for Matt. Let's see. Where are we at? Card Hobbyist says, I'm surprised I am still in third since I haven't got one correct in like a month. Paige and Dee Bean says, can you mark me down as 0 infinity? Only because Rich has been absent. Bronco, show reminder for the weekend. Yeah, there's 2 shows in Milwaukee this weekend. Oak Creek on Saturday and Miller Park, which has a new name. American Family Field on Sunday. I assume are you doing both, Bronco? I'm not going to go over there. I'm just going to hang back at home. Let's see. Matt loves you all. After review, the ruling on the field has been overturned. Matt, do not do that. That's not safe. I guess cruise control. All right, so that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel, all that nonsense. eBay store link in the description. Check out the Hobby Evolution Facebook page. Type in Hobby Evolution in Facebook, and it'll take you there. That's about all. So, since I'm not doing any shows or going anywhere this weekend, I will be live tomorrow and Sunday. So, weekend edition coming up. Usually we go live sometime in the morning. Just depends on when I decide to move around. Probably 8:30. So 8:30 tomorrow morning Central Time. We'll see you then. Have a great Friday. Talk to you tomorrow.